So for today, what our lesson is about positive and negative correlations and the correlation coefficient and linear regression. So our warm-up for today, I want you guys to take a look at these graphs. And I want you, based off the words that you see below, match them according to the graphs that you see. So I'll give you guys a few minutes and go ahead and see where we're at. Okay, so what I notice is basically if I take a look at this line for this first one, I notice that it's going in a downward motion. It's basically going this way. So of these words, which one basically is talking about that direction that this line is going? So that's going to basically be our negative correlation. If I take a look at my other examples, basically I see that this one is going up. So this one is kind of going upward. It's increasing. So what I can say is that could be a positive correlation. And then the last one left over is basically if I have a horizontal line, right, that would be that no correlation example here. Now, what we're going to talk about is linear regression and how to make these accurate predictions using these real-world examples. So that's what we're going to investigate today. So follow along, take some good notes, and make sure you guys are following what the graphs look like. So our CO and our LO is I will write a linear function and make predictions for real-world problems, and our LO is I will write those linear functions using technology, using linear regression. So we're going to use the calculator a lot, so make sure you have that handy on your Chromebook. So we're going to talk about these types of scatter plots and how they look. So basically, based off these numbers here, they're going to tell you how strong or how weak they are, and basically in what direction they're going to go to. So if I take a look, this looks like it's a negative correlation. This one has a negative correlation. This one has no correlation. Okay, and so when we're talking about correlation, it's basically what is the relationship between my x's and my y's, and do they work together with each other? And if I take a look at these other ones, positive, positive, and then again this one is a no correlation. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on now. These numbers, they do play a part in this on describing the other relationships for it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that means. The closer you get to 1, that's telling you it's going to be a strong correlation no matter what side it's on, positive or negative. So if it's a positive one, this one over here would be considered a positive, a strong positive correlation. And if I take a look at this other side, this would be a strong, because the closer it is to 1, negative correlation. Okay, so that's basically what we're having set up here. Now, if I take a look at my other pieces, the closer I am to this number, this is 0.5, that makes it a weak negative correlation. And the opposite, because that's a positive number, I would have a weak positive correlation. Okay, and as you get closer and closer to the 0, then you're just going to have the example of no correlation. So they're not related to each other. The x's and y's, there's no relationship that they share. Okay, so when we're looking at these numbers, you definitely want to kind of gauge that way. The closer I am to these ones, the stronger it is. The closer I am to this, the farther I get away from 1, so I'm closer to the 0.5, negative or positive, it's starting to become a weak correlation. So the relationship between the x and y isn't as strong. So how should it look on a graph? If I'm looking at a strong correlation, notice that all these points are kind of very close to the center line. If I'm looking at a weak correlation, basically they're more spread out. So basically they're very far apart from the line. And that goes again with the negative and positive part. So all these are increasing, so these are positive. So these are positive, and then these ones down here, these would be considered our negative correlations. So our no correlations basically is the points are all over the place. They're hovering around in a certain point. So this is our examples of no correlation and how it should look, especially on graphs. Okay, so I want you guys to, based off what we went over, what type of relationship do you see with these red points? And I want you guys to type your response here, and then we'll take a look at it from your Google Slides. And what do you think about this graph here? What type of correlation do you think it has? Does it look strong? So if I were to draw a single straight line through it, are they very close to that blue line of mine, or are they more spread out? And that kind of determines if it's going to be a strong or weak, positive or negative type of correlation. And then we'll stop here.